Going on, everybody? Welcome to HiBruiNation, the unofficial home of your Boston Bruins. Goosey, joined by the Chavo, as always, and our new co-host and Mr. Hattrick himself, Jack Attack. We got a good show for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about this week's past games, some struggles, some positives, and some prospect updates, and probably a little bit more. So without further ado, guys, how we doing?
Thank you for a great intro, Cam. I really like to hold that title proudly.
Good, because it's yours. I hope you know that's going to be in the intro every time now. You are now Mr. Hattrick. Change your Twitter handle. Change your name.
I am.
Go
I'm going to change it all.
Jack, the beer league hero over here.
Oh my gosh!
Almost
wild,
the beer
man.
league hero.
Almost. It's early in the season. There's still plenty of time.
It's crazy. I got the hat trick in the game after mine, so it wasn't even my game to play, but they needed some bodies, so I was like, okay. And then I went out and got a goal, and then it just kept coming on the same shift too, which is impressive. But
And ladies and gentlemen, he's humble too. Just listen to it. Completely. There's no.
Listen to the humbleness just coming off, man. It's just
he eats a piece of humble pie every day.
That's crazy. Fun. No, it was crazy, dude. It was like bang, 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 run right after another. It was extremely impressive. 2 of them right off the face-off. It was nuts. I was on the bench and I was like, damn, dude, just freaking eat, King. Holy shit.
I got to play against you and then play with you, which was fun. So
yeah, no, I was trying to get a little chippy with you in that game. Steve, we got to get you back out to Boston, buddy, so you can get in this fucking beer league. A bunch of good guys, dude. They're just a bunch of good guys.
It's a solid group.
Having fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was a little upset that like I was going at it with Lucas a little bit too. Like I was chirping him a little bit, and I was trying.
Yeah.
You just never skated by the bench. I had so many things ready for you, and I was like, he just doesn't want to skate by me.
No, I guess not. It wasn't on my agenda to slide right by the bench so I could hear your wonderful.
Your heckles are beneath him.
Well, when he scores a hat trick in the second game, yeah. Oh no, the second game there was chirps, buddy. Like so, Jack and I played like we're telling you, we played 2 games in a row, and the team we ended up back on the same team in the second game, and these
it got a little heated. It got a little heated.
A little, bro.
It wouldn't be beer league if it wasn't like this, it wouldn't be beer league.
Well, this league is a little more tamed down. I think they want to try and have a good lid on it. They want to have good parity and everyone to have fun and scraps are gonna happen, but like they want to.
Still don't know why the fuck I got traded, but that's fine. Like parity, like because I was definitely the make or break player in the team, but shit.
Oh
my god!
Geez.
Meanwhile, they still have you and Lucas on that team. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Oh no, but to Jack's point, yeah, Steve, like this team was like, like we don't mind like a little physicality, right? Like
you're gonna have to be a little physical, but this team is specifically,
they were shooting high, right into people's chests, like right into like not even low. It was
tripping, hooking, pushing, like little
slashing,
two-handed on the back, like
unbelievable.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
We you know what's crazier? We almost won that second game too, despite
it wasn't even our game. It wasn't even our game. Yeah, I pretty much just put the team on my back and was like, "All right, guys, let's go."
Do you have a sore back this week?
I'm changing his name from Mr. Hattrick now to Mr. Humble.
Oh yeah,
that changed real quick.
Oh
He's gonna be all over the place.
All right, yeah.
All right, guys.
Let's
get into it. It's a rough week.
Yeah.
Rough week. The Bruins are now on a 4-game losing streak since Monday against Tampa Bay. They
total
are
flip of squid from last week. Total flip of squid. We were all like, "Woo, happy cheering!" I remember I was like, "Yay!" Now I look at it and I go, "Oh,
yeah."
Yep. It's been a week.
But do you know what the biggest pain out of all these 4 games were?
they were all winnable.
They were winnable. Every last one of them.
The Vegas game was, I'd say that's the one I'd be 50-50 on. But Tampa, yeah, absolutely could have won that game. Colorado, they were in the game.
I'm 50-50 on Colorado.
Yeah. I feel like they were in the game through 2 periods of play, and they did a lot of good things. But
Vegas is thinking like that was the winnable one. Like, so it's funny. Really? You and I are swapping on that one because I thought Vegas was the winnable one because they kept going up, but they kept letting a goal back in. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Colorado was a little bit more. I feel like they did outpace you, but you were with them until the floodgates opened.
I think that's a better way to put it. Yeah, the pace was better in Vegas, even though it was very back and forth. But Colorado, yeah, they're already emerging as one of the top teams in the West, man. It's no surprise. I mean, they've got a lot to play for, I think, and coming off of last year and how their season ended. Yeah, they've got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder for sure. But yeah, they're solid, and they paced us, throughout the entire game. And just tonight, Utah, I have for my notes here, I wrote even Steven because it doesn't get more even than that, I think. I mean, they had the same shots. They were tied for most of the game. Penalties on both sides. We're going to get into the penalties and our discipline for sure. But there was penalties on both sides. And Utah just got one at the end off of a little lapse. And who got the goal? It was a wicked one-timer. He ripped it.
It was Dylan Gunther. Dylan Gunther got the game-winning goal. And that guy is going to be a stud, dude. Like, I don't know if you've watched him play, but the Utah...
I haven't, clearly.
Yeah, no, you got to, the Mammoth are going to be... They might be one of my favorite teams to watch because they're young, they're up and coming. I think they're maybe one or two pieces away from actually making some good contention. The only problem I think I have with that team is that they have too many left-handed shots. But yeah, Utah tonight was a winning game too. So for those of you who don't know, we record on Sunday night. So we're recording this literally right after the Utah loss, which it's very fresh in our minds. So it's
yeah.
So actually, why don't we actually start with the Utah loss and then work our way back to Tampa?
Let's do that. I think. Yeah, I like that.
It's a good way to do it
while it's still fresh.
I just wrote frustrating loss as well. I wrote frustrating loss. Like, was there to take it and just couldn't get there. Like, it was very close. But
Corpy kept you in it. I just want to
Yeah, there were several times watching that game. I just wanted to scream at the top of my lungs. It was frustrating for sure, and I mean, like, you were in it. It was back and forth pretty much, but you had the lead for a short while. And, I thought they did a good job of protecting the lead while they had it. And then just a miscommunication in the D zone, and it led to the tying goal. And then kind of the same story with Utah's game winner. That one-timer, nobody was on him. He was wide open, and it just snuck right in. I mean, it was a late reaction by who was defending that shot. It was just a late reaction, and it just got the shot right off and went in.
It was Yoki Haru that I believe was defending the shot, if I'm not mistaken. But he was there, but he was not necessarily in the shooting lane of the like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just too far over, so he was on the body but not on the stick.
Corpy didn't get across too as well. He was a little slow. I mean, but also it's because he had to move over, stretch over sooner than he thought because there was that breakdown. But yeah.
And I thought he got screened too. I thought there was a little bit of a screen in front of it, and he saw the pass a little too late.
Yeah, I don't disagree there, but where I have an issue, in the biggest issue, so twice, the score was only 3-2 in favor of Utah. But twice in that game, immediately after the Bruins scored, or pretty close to immediately after, they didn't let up a goal, but they put Utah on the power play. So in my eyes, that's almost equivalent, because now you're giving them the opportunity, to tie the game right back up or even take the lead. I think discipline's been a huge issue these past 4 games with the team, just taking either stupid penalties or needless crap. And it showed you, and it wears you down.
Yeah.
Like, that was my biggest gripe with Utah. They were 1 for 4 on their power play in terms of Boston. Like they were 25%. So I mean that was good, but over the span of the last 4 games, and we can talk about that like a little bit later on, as that's going to be one of our primary topics with respect to the title, is that power play struggles, is that in the stretch of these 4 games they're 2 for 14.
Yep.
So it's not great.
And to briefly touch on the PK, I mean, like I'm going to give a lot of respect to the PK because they've gotten you out of so much shit already this season.
Yeah,
they've done a really good job of it. But it's like, guys, can you stay out of the fucking box so you don't have to constantly go on the PK and wear yourself out and let them just kind of tack up the shots on you? And it's just these past 4 games, it's just been nothing but discipline problems. And I get it, like the big bad Bruins style of hockey, they're usually out hitting all of their opponents and things like that. But it's like, these stupid little hooks, these stupid little trips, and it's just. And to be fair, tripping is the most called penalty in the NHL, with like 64% of the penalties called, minor penalties called, are tripping. But can we just stay out of the box a little bit so we can maybe play a little 5-on-5 to score a goal? It's just the discipline of it has been terrible.
Yeah,
I want to add a point. Sorry, Jack. I just want to add a point.
You go.
With the penalties, the Bruins after tonight are now tied with the Tampa Bay Lightning for second in the league for most penalties taken at 33. Chicago leads it at 41.
Weren't the Bruins taking the most last year as well? I think they mentioned that during the broadcast. I mean, they were
among the top 5, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
So is this going to be one of those things? This trend also just wasn't in Utah too. It was in Colorado, it was in Vegas, and it was against Tampa.
Yep.
You're giving your opponent many opportunities. And while your penalty kill and your goaltending has been great, by the way, nobody so far through 7 games, I think, can even say that Swayman or Korpisalo has not given you a performance to a chance that you could not win a game.
Yeah,
I think 100%. They've been
agreed.
In the defense, at least 5-on-5. I think 5-on-5, the defense and the goaltending, more so the goaltending, has been there. But this now concerns me through 7 games that you're back into that fold where you're in the top 5 in the league in most penalties taken. So is this going to be one of those things where old habits are going to need to die hard?
I hope not. But at the same time, it's like, hey, if we keep giving up stupid penalties against a real team that has a really good power play, it's going to eventually bite you in the ass really hard.
You saw it in Vegas and like Colorado, like those teams that are like proven contenders, they're gonna burn you. They're gonna get you down by 2-3 goals. You were down 6-3 beginning of the third against Vegas, and you got death contributions to pull within 1, but you're just setting yourself up for failure, really.
Yep.
Well, then I guess that would jump us to Vegas, but like, why don't we touch Colorado? But just to Vegas's point, they also did score a shorthanded goal, but we can get into more on that when we touch upon Vegas. And Utah was just a tough loss, but you could argue that through these 4 games, it was the same old shtick. Like it looked like the same old story. Like, Definitely. What I'm going to have to say about Colorado is probably going to be the same thing about Utah. Well, maybe a little bit less Colorado, because Colorado did outclass you in a couple areas.
Yep.
But in the Colorado game, I thought you were in it until you just, I don't know if you just rolled over.
Yeah, the better team got the better of it, and again, they were in the game for 2 periods of play and did a lot of good things, but, beat your guy's first goal. That's cool. Need more of him, definitely. But yeah, lots to work on.
And for me, for Colorado, I mean, I only saw the last 10 minutes of the first period and then the first 10 minutes of the second period. I got home late, and then I crashed. I fell asleep watching the game. Woke up at 4 a.m. to Sports Center with the TV on.
As we all do at times, you know, wake in the middle of the night, and then Stephen A. Smith is screaming at us
about nothing, waking you up the rest of the night. Yeah, it happens. But no, I didn't really catch too much. But even from what I watched, you know, the technically the 20 minutes I watched, I mean, there were times where they looked good, but mostly it's just like you're getting outclassed. You know, and that's just kind of what I took away from it, and maybe that's why I fell asleep a little bit too. Like I wasn't really thrilled about how they were playing, but at the end of the day, it's just like you can't let other teams outclass you. You gotta, you know, you can't play down to teams, and you can't play, you know, you can't try to force yourself to, you know, get into games where, you know, you're already getting into trouble with penalties. I mean, I looked at the stat sheet, 14 shots total in the game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't win games when you're only getting 14 shots on that.
Yeah, no, and against Colorado too, you're not gonna.
No, because McKinnon is so good, dude. It's
really
not
is.
even funny. McCarr and McKinnon are just
he's nasty.
So good. And if you actually look at the game, like, so if the Bruins actually would have won against Colorado, then you could actually safely say that that was a game that Jeremy Swayman would have stole for you. That's something I would have been able to confidently say.
Yep.
And if you go back and watch the game, like, yes, they were getting outshot. A lot of it was to the perimeter, I would say, you know, for the most part. But then if you go back and look at the third period, that's where everything really unfolded. I think the game was 2-1 pretty much for the majority of the game. So, I mean, like, you could say Boston was hanging in there. Unfortunately, like, you know, you can imagine it was just only a matter of time, you know, until Colorado did better. It's fine. Like, Colorado is the one game that I would have said that I wouldn't have mind losing because of what that roster is, and just because Nathan McKinnon is studly beyond all belief. And, like, you know, pivoting to Vegas, well, Aiden Hill and Akira Schmid, they're not playing great right now.
I mean, it's not the best tandem either, you would think. I mean, you look at that and you're like,
yeah,
is that it, really? Like, you know, that's not the best that Vegas can do. But I mean, they're a solid team from top to bottom.
Vegas to me is just one of those teams that they're more or less relying on outscoring the opponent than actually playing defense, right? Like with their goalie situation, I mean, you know, credit where credit's due. I mean, I don't think they're the worst tandem in the NHL, but I also don't even put them in the top 10. I think they're middle of the road NHL tandems. But when you have guys like Eichel and, you know, just, you know, their entire first line, right?
Like Marner, you know,
like all these guys who are high producers, like
you can afford to do that essentially.
Exactly.
It's like, you know,
exactly. Yeah. You're just relying on putting more pucks behind the goalie.
That was Toronto's key to success for many years. I mean, they've gotten some better defensive contributions, you know, and some better goaltending. But like when they were back playing the Bruins, you know, which seems a while ago, which is crazy. You know, all they did was just try and outscore their opponent because they had, you know, really top heavy guys. So not sure why I'm bringing up Toronto, but it makes me think of, you know, for Vegas, you know, they're always,
it's a good point though, Jack. Sorry, Jack. I feel like I kept cutting you off. No, it's a great point to bring up though, because they also get Marner, like, you know what I mean? Because Marner's from Toronto, and you look at that as like, so are the Vegas Golden Knights kind of looking top heavy? I don't know, because Marner's two-way game has actually improved. You got guys like Riley Smith, William Karlsson, Jack Eichel. The list just goes on. Your forwards can have a good two-way game,
which is why I think that goes with Steve's point. That's why it's you know, it's why they're able to be successful and they can outscore.
I mean, their top six is definitely
it's disgusting.
It's disgusting. I mean, it's
insane.
It's probably the best in the league, if you ask me. What their top six is. I mean, it's right up. I mean, if they're not the number one top six in the league, they're definitely top three, right? I mean, it's you can't put it any other way. It's their top six is scary. I mean, you don't want to play against that.
Colorado and Edmonton are very close number twos. I feel, but Edmonton Colorado more so because of. I would too, but I just feel like they're close because Edmonton does have McDavid, and that carries a lot of weight, but it can only also carry so much weight. Now with Vegas, man, like that was another game where, like, you know, we all had that we all had Vegas as a loss. We all had Colorado as a loss when we were doing our predictions last week.
Yeah.
But after watching like the Vegas game and the way the Bruins have been playing and the defense of the goaltending has been playing, I at least thought that the game was going to be close, and they have been. You know, these games have been close outside of the Colorado. I mean, I'll call the Colorado game close because it was 3-1. You know, a 2-goal spin. I'm not going to get, barring any empty netters, right? I mean, the games have been close. They've been being kept in it. But like we predicted, or like we've said, even in episodes before and before Jack joined on, is like we thought the offense was going to be the biggest issue. You can't keep on relying on David Pastrnak to do this. But in the Vegas game, we got that depth scoring. So that was a game you really wish you could have had.
Yep.
And every power play opportunity you got, you kind of fumbled it away. And then you let up a shorthanded goal. And that really kicks you in the dick. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, great, you have a power play. I think it was a chance to tie the game or go ahead. I can't really remember specifically, but then that happens. It's just so deflating because now you have an uphill battle on a cup contender.
In the momentum shift, right? Like that's
Absolutely.
just kind of that's a crushing thing to feel is the momentum shift, especially on the road. You know, you've been on the road, you know, for a couple games at that point. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, they were in that game too, right? Like if they didn't take as many penalties, they were very much in that game. They were in the game even with all the penalties that they took. But you got to get some scoring on the power play. You need to, again, like what me and my buddies tell each other. It's like, okay, you're going on the power play, make them pay because they did it to themselves, right? Like you gotta make them pay somehow, even if it's, you know, two goals on, you know, 4 of them, you're getting a 50%. That makes a difference. That's especially in the Vegas game. If you score twice on the power play, you know, you're looking at a tie game and or victory, right? I mean, that's just kind of how it pans out a little bit. It's just we were talking about this a little bit earlier, I think off live, but was it 15% now on the power play?
Less.
Is okay, so it's less than 15%
for this week. Sorry, I'm counting this week. But Steve, just quickly to your point on the element with Vegas, we also had a power play opportunity at the end of the game in Vegas that could have sent it into overtime. So again, it's just like, this road trip, you could have easily gone 2 for 3 on the road trip. Again, Tampa was at home, so I'm excluding Tampa from that game right now. And we'll get into that, and then we'll get into the crux of the real issue why they lost it.
And just before we move on, we had a power play opportunity with 3 or 4 minutes left in the game tonight. And they couldn't
do anything.
And that's, again, it's another point to just make that, you know, you're getting these power plays at opportune times when, you know, you're almost out of time to get these games to level, and you just can't do anything on it. And it's very infuriating. It's like, now, like when I was watching the game with the 3 minutes left to go, it's like, now's the time to score because you're not going to get a better opportunity. You need to get one now and take back the momentum. That way, even if you go into overtime, you have a little bit more momentum, right? It's just frustrating.
You ever see the movie Beer Fest?
Of course.
Yeah. You remind me of like that puppet that just goes, it's frustrating. Just so frustrating. The thing with Jack, if you haven't,
what is this from the?
You haven't seen. Hey, mind your P's and Q's, okay? Listen, I'm 31. I'm not fucking ancient, dude. Go watch it. It's
the guys who made Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Geez.
So it's funny. A riot.
Yeah.
It's just literally about like a beer drinking competition, but it's
the beer drinking Olympics.
Was it beer? Yeah. What?
Beer Fest.
Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know if we aged ourselves there. I didn't think the movie was that old.
It's not. No, it's not that old. I just felt it being a little, cheeky for a sec, but no, it's 2006.
I'm being a little sensitive.
2006.
Okay, maybe.
Wow. Yeah.
2006. Yeah. All right, fuck, never mind.
I remember when I was watching it as a teenager, so like a young teenager too. So I mean, it's not that old.
I was like 3.5, 4 at this point, maybe. So
you're a 2003 kid?
No, I'm 2001. but I was October
Oh my God.
2001.
You're 24?
I'm about to be 24 this Thursday.
Happy birthday.
Well, hold on. Do your
Thank you.
parents know that you're on air talking with us adults? Like, did
They
you
do.
get
Yeah,
that
don't worry.
permission?
We're protected. I need permission. Okay. Like I need permission. No. I
Did you
told
bring your permission slip, sir?
Yeah, I did. It's right here. It's right here. No. I told my dad. I mean, he's been in the know since last week when I told him I was hopping on with a beer league buddy to talk some hockey. So yeah, he's all for it. I'll have to send him. I think he might use Pandora or an older music streaming platform, but I'll try and get him up to speed. I'll get him up to speed and try and get him on Spotify. You can listen to some of them.
Oh, that's so funny. Wow. All right, I didn't know you were 24. It was next Thursday. Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to do a birthday celebration.
This coming Thursday, yeah, the 23rd.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to stay. I got the early game. I'm gonna have to stay late. I'm gonna get you like a little birthday dunce hat or some shit. I don't know. To figure it out.
Yeah.
Mr.
Hell
Patrick.
yeah. I know. I do. We have the late. My team has the late game this week too. So that is it'll be fun.
Yeah, you guys got three straight late games. Have fun with that one. I'm gonna enjoy my 3 straight 8 o'clock games.
Oh my God, is that you really? Your next 3 are 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
8 o'clock. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you're happy you're traded out. I bet you're happy you're traded now.
Oh, I was beyond ecstatic, dude. You have no idea. Got traded.
Oh, don't worry. It's
I
gonna
was
bite
like,
you in the
I'm
ass.
gonna miss my
next
teammates.
Month.
What was that, Steve?
It's gonna bite you in the ass next month. In November, you're gonna have 4 straight 10 o'clock games. Oh, you're gonna be loving it then.
I'll hate myself, dude. I just won't show up unless it's against like my former team. Then I'll be there. We're gonna see them in the finals.
Anyways, back to it.
Back to it. Yeah, I don't know. Vegas could have won. Late opportunities on the power play. We're not capitalizing on. Big problem. Big problem in my opinion.
I think something highlighted too, I mean, throughout all these games, and especially Vegas and Colorado, a little bit of a different story with Utah, but you got to get your top 6 to contribute. I mean, Pasta had a quote after Vegas. I have here that says, "We weren't there today. We didn't create enough. Didn't get on the score sheet. We have to be better." The top 2 lines. So I think that's just a constant thing to look for moving forward. And when there's contributions, I mean, they have a shot to win. And I'm not surprised that you guys talked before about offense. That's going to be a main issue, or something to look for as well. Because if you can't get any balanced work throughout your lineup, it's going to be tough. But, I mean, Pasta chipped in today, 2 goals. And, gotta get my boy E. Lindholm, Elias Lindholm back moving again. He was solid week 1, and he was okay this week, but not, I kind of grouped it into the top 6, just not.
Still solid.
Not getting there, but still solid. And he had some good chances today. He had a couple good looks, and I thought he was going to follow that. But, yeah, top 6. They need to come up more.
Have you guys been noticing this too, about your point? When the top 6 are producing, the bottom 6 ain't producing, and then when the bottom 6 are producing, the top 6 ain't doing anything, and it's kind of frustrating. Where it's like, okay, it's not just one line needs to contribute; it's like we need it up and down the lineup constantly, right? Like that's how you make an NHL team work. But it'd be nice to have your third line score a goal and your top line score a goal in the same game, and make it work.
I actually have on my list, Steve, that I need to see more out of the third line. I'm not getting enough out of Tanner Jeannot. I'm not getting enough out of Fraser Minton.
Hey, you got 2 goals.
What do you fucking do? Yeah.
Minton had a good
net front presences. He just stuck his fat ass there. I could fucking do that. I'm fat as hell. They ain't gonna move my fat ass, dude. Please. I need more.
I tried this past Thursday. I couldn't move him one bit. I tried taking my stick and dragging him along.
I would have. Someone was in front of my net. I don't know if it was you I was hacking at, but I was definitely hitting somebody, buddy. Or it was maybe the second game. So
yeah,
I don't know.
To your point, that third line needs to step up a little bit more. Aside from Jeannot's 2 goals that were kind of like, again, garbage goals, but they still count on the score sheet. It's just like
you need them.
You need them. That's how you win hockey games, man. It's not always about the flashy, top shelf snipes. Sometimes all it takes is a dirty goal down at the goal line right in front of the crease, and that's what wins you championships. I mean, that's how it works.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's, that third line needs to kind of step up a little bit more, and Tanner Jeannot needs to not be allergic to the puck. He's been turning over a lot.
He also had a careless penalty tonight against Utah, but that's fine. I'm actually I'm warming up to him a little bit because I think the Bruins actually does just fit him a lot better than any of the other NHL teams. So I'm warming up to him a little bit, but still I need more out of that third line. Let's quickly move to Tampa because I think again, these 4 games had the same exact story. They were in it until they just could not get out of their own way. I feel like this was
sloppy defense as well.
Yep.
Like I had as well for the Tampa game, that the third goal was directly caused by a failed exit out of the zone. I think they tried to chip it out and then they just sent it right back to Tampa. Kind of almost what happened to Utah today. I mean, I think Corpy came up big and saved it, but it didn't go our way in Tampa when they just, again, failed exit, sent it right back to the goalie.
And you know what, though? I think we were talking about this during that game. It's just, you can't win hockey games when you spot the opposition three goals, right? You just can't win games when you're spotting the other team. I think only one of those goals, maybe 2 of those goals against Tampa, were actually kind of legit goals. I think 2 or 3 of them, one is up for debate, but at least 2 of them conservatively were just shit goals that should not have went in because of defensive zone breakdowns. It took you out and it shifted the momentum again. If you didn't spot that team, 2-3 goals, you're looking at a win there.
Yeah, Sturm said after the game, we knew they wanted to get to work right away, and we weren't ready. So, exactly what you said, Steve. They weren't ready, let up goals, and, and they made mistakes because they weren't prepared for Tampa. And Tampa kind of came into that game with a little chip on their shoulder, too, I think. They hadn't, again, very early in the season, but they hadn't got a win yet. They're trying to get back into contention. I mean, to contend, and it was a good win for them. But yeah.
I agree with Jack saying you knew Tampa was going to come in with the chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that. That's why you guys had them as a win and I had them as a loss. I'm like, John Cooper, there's a lot of Stanley Cup pedigree on that team.
In hindsight, by the way, that was a great pick, Cam. I'll give you your flowers.
Yeah. By the way, fuck you guys. Got that. Nailed that one. Nailed that. You guys, I was getting text messages, but all in favor of hail Cam, he's the fucking king of predictions, except for tonight where we all had it as a win. But I'll take the fuck.
I may have texted Cam during the game saying I have never bit my words harder. and Cam just sent back
Steve did it.
LOL.
You got it right. I didn't. You're gonna expect me to just sit there.
You did not admit to your fault, sir.
I know I
didn't.
Did not. I know I didn't. And I'm not going to. Listen, that was a winnable game. And they gave it away. They lost. I was wrong. Yep. Congratulations. But the fact remains, it was a 1-goal game, and we spotted the opposition 2-3 goals. Okay. The fact of the matter is, we should have won that game if they didn't show up for the first period. If we showed up for 3 periods, we would have won that game. But
you genuinely sound like you just lost a $1,000 bet on BetMGM.
Listen,
you're just I would have fucking had that parlay. Would have had that parlay if we would have got fucking 2 more yards. But then they took him out of the fucking game.
I almost had a parlay today.
Just wanted 2 yards.
Listen, it is what it is. And no, I'm not going to walk back my words. Oh, praise Cam. Oh my God. No, I'm not doing it. You know that. I'm not doing it.
I gave him a sliver. I'm not going to be bowing down, being like, oh, Cam. I said, okay, I'm wrong.
He finally got one right.
Yeah, don't give me an inch, guys. I will take a mile. Steve knows that way too well. You can't give me an inch. I'll take a mile.
Exactly. That's why I never give him an inch on anything.
You can't.
Yeah.
My ego's too big for that, guys. My ego's too big for that. Well,
how do we think about a Kevin Pastrnak coming up big as a goalie in the Tampa game?
Dude,
love that effort. Actually,
yeah, I was gonna say I had that for the game too. Effort, great, and again, all these games this week, effort mostly there. Slipped a little bit depending on each game, but I mean they're trying, and they're showing a determination to have some fight. But and Pasta, I think is really stepping up as a leader this year so far. Yep. And Yeah, I wrote again in my notes. He then ... saves a puck. He went into the full-on sprawl, like full-on goalie position. He had the stick and everything. He went.
He laid somebody out, right, and then he saved it.
Or Kucherov. Yeah, Kucherov. He freaking lit up Kucherov.
Yep.
It's awesome.
See, and that's not a need. That's a big boy.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? He plays heavy, so yeah. I'll take it. Yeah, that was crazy. I think I posted on Twitter saying Pasternak for Vezina, just like literally every other Bruins fan that was posting that day.
Yeah.
No, I actually agree. In sorry for this whole week, because the one positive or the couple positives that you could take away out of it, and we talked about it, right? The goaltending, it's there. It's so there. The defense, it's PK. The PK is there.
Defense, you've got your issues, your toss-ups sometimes in each player. Like, again, we talked about I was trying to say McAvoy. I almost said McDavid. That's crazy. But we have our issues with McAvoy. But overall defense, it's there. It's a solid core.
It's good enough. Like, it's getting it done enough. Like, it's not. I don't think it's the best top 6 in the league, but it's. I'm sorry, the best. The 3 pairs in the league, but it's pretty good. They have a good top 4 and a good solid depth pairing as well. Yeah. Those are the positives. The improvements. Obviously, it's the forward group. There's not much we can do about this right now. Like, we don't have the capital that we're willing to give away in order to get somebody. We don't have the money to even do it. They could call up Poitras and Lysell, who are lighting it up right now in Providence.
They're gonna fuck you,
but they're not gonna. Huh?
Of course
they are.
Not.
Yeah, they're lighting it up, and they're on a fuck you tip. And that's how I'm taking it. Looking at their stats,
Providence is 4-0-0.
Yeah.
They're nuts. That Steve's, Poitras, and Lysell line is bananas. And Steve's is even going off crazy right now. They're 4-0. 7 Providence Bruins are in the top 10 of AHL scoring. Merkulov leads it. Lysell, Steves, and Blumel are all tied for 3rd place with 6 points. Tuft, Poitras, Brown are with 5 points are tied for 10th. That's crazy to me. That's a good number to have. So that's something to be proud of. So again, that's a positive to look at too, just not in terms of the big club, but then Jack just did a Marchand and just ripped his own ear shit out.
I was really hoping you guys wouldn't see that. Oh,
we're always watching, dude. Like
I don't know what happened. Listen, I'm a little clumsy sometimes in my hand. Like it just swapped, and then my earbuds just came out, and I don't know.
I thought you were just sick and tired of hearing me talking. I'm like, geez, I know I talk a lot. But holy crap! I was just like,
stop
fuck
talking,
this guy, dude. Oh my goodness. I got so offended. I was like, damn. And then there's the power play. The biggest
freaking power play, man.
The biggest problem. Oh, here's the stats, and then we're gonna get into it because this is the primary topic tonight. The power play problems. In the Tampa game, they were 0 for 5. The Vegas game, they were 1 for 3. Colorado, they were 0 for 2. Utah, they were 1 for 4. Overall, in the last 4 games, they are 2 for 14, which is 14.3%. And I believe they're only 15% on the year.
Yep.
They are lacking chemistry. They're lacking smart plays. They're lacking shots.
Yep.
And the lack of scoring, if you look at those games you listed and how many opportunities they got, they cost you those games.
Yep.
You score on one of those power plays in any one of those games.
Except Colorado.
No, because I would actually argue with Colorado. You could have had it. You could have gone to OT. I'm not saying you could have won the game, but you could have seen OT or you could have won. Either option.
Okay.
How the fuck do we fix it? Because I don't know about you guys, but I am getting tired of the narrative or the strategy of the power play to be, fuck it, Pasternak is somewhere. We need to get away from that. And I think McAvoy is probably the biggest guilty party because I don't ever see him shoot it.
He had a couple more shots tonight from the point, and I think 1 or 2 on the power play. But in total, yeah, he's just not being active enough as your, quote unquote quarterback, and on the back of your power play. he's never had much of a shot first mentality, I think, and that's I think that's just built into his game. He can't really change it now at this point, so it's just a matter of getting more shots when he can. But yeah, I think that's one main thing to help shake up the power play. You got to take McAvoy off, and if Lindholm is feeling close to, if not 100%, I know we also had a note for tonight that he was a maintenance day against Utah because he's coming off the injury, so he didn't play tonight. But I think you should get Lindholm in the back there before, because he's been on the power play before, and he's done pretty well. He's a little bit more smooth and elusive, I think. And I don't know, I just like the idea of a lefty up there. Maybe it reminds me of Krug again as well. But yeah, you got to get McAvoy off.
I think
I love the guy, but
I think the stat from last year was when Hampus Lindholm was on the power play, they were 25% compared to McAvoy when it was less.
Yeah, that sounds right. That proves my point. Again, it's in the statistics, but you also can just see it in the play as well. And I think you need more options instead of Pastrnak as well. Again, seeing like, all right, where the heck is he? And then you keep forcing it to him too much, they're gonna read up on it. They're gonna take away that passing lane. I kind of thought tonight as well, I want to help him get on the board too. I want Arvidsson to get some more looks. He's on the second power play, which I guess you might keep him there for now, but he's a guy too, I think. Yeah, love him too, but he just needs to get moving a little bit. Once he scores a few goals, I think he's really going to find a rhythm, and they could utilize him maybe, as a Pastrnak 2.0. Not that he's up to the level of Pastrnak. He's great in his own way, but kind of get him in a similar spot too, because he has a great shot. We brought him in for his offensive touch. He's got a great shot. Use it.
And you know what? Lately, when I'm watching him, he's so fast.
He is. He's one of the smaller guys.
He's smaller guy, and he's so fast. But what I'm watching, he's kind of panicking out there. Yeah. He needs to calm down, because you know what? I feel like he has stone hands. Like he kind of freezes up, and like he's had so many opportunities on a couple breakaways, a couple opportunities coming down the down the boards, where he could just get a quick shot off, just get a rebound. Someone's following, and he's not doing it. He's kind of like freezing up down there, and I'd like to see him shoot it more. But also, I kind of want some more smoothness to his game, where he's kind of more relaxed and kind of just gets in there and does what he needs to do, and not necessarily panic when he has the puck in those situations. When it's 5-on-5, he's a little bit cooler, but I think he kind of hyped himself up, But at the same time, it's just like, I'd like to see him out there, but this is a hot take, and I know everyone's going to bite my head off, but I say fuck it, put Zadorov out there and park his fat ass in front of the goalie and cause some fucking ruckus and generate shots.
He wants Zdeno Chara style.
I don't hate that. I was gonna say, Steve, I see where you're going there, and I don't hate it because it was a useful for the Bruins for a while.
And it matches the style of play that they're playing. Dirty goals. That's what they need.
Like get the big guy in front. I mean, he's mean enough. Every game he's chirping yapping at people at the refs. He was yapping at the refs today. That's part of his game, and
and he's so huge. He's so big that he could screen the goalie, and all it takes is one screen to go by, and that's it. Like and he's big. He's not going to get out muscled on the puck. No. Imagine a nice shot, from the point or from the hash, whatever. Just gets through there. The goalie doesn't see it, and if he saves it last second, he's going to be off balance. He's going to be kind of laying out there, and a big guy that can't be pushed around is going to just tap it in, and sometimes that's just what you need. And it matches their style of play. I think they're getting too pretty on the power play, and it's generating nothing. We need to go back to basics.
They've been way too pretty since Bergeron. Since even with Bergeron too, when they got the perfection line. RIP, miss it. But it was always about finding the perfect pass and lane. And again, that's why I don't love McAvoy on the power play, because he looks too much, and he just again lacks the shot mentality. But it's tough. It's tough.
Yep.
You know what? Fuck it. I agree. Put Nikita Yaparov on the fucking power play.
Yaparov is crazy.
And sit his fat ass down there. That's it.
Yeah,
or have him.
or another big
have
body.
him call someone ugly.
Yeah. If not him, I mean, maybe Middlestat or someone else who's got a little bit of a bigger frame. And Middlestat's a little bit slimmer too, but I mean, he's a decently big guy. I mean, so you just need someone. You need, whether it's Zadorov or anyone, you definitely need more chaos and stuff in front of the net. Whether you're on the power play,
you need someone with good attention.
Yeah, or you're on 5-on-5. They need to crash the net more mentality. You got to get bodies to the net, and that's going to lead to opportunities happening.
And to your point about crashing the net, right? If it's good enough for mites, squirts, peewees, bantams, midgets, it's good enough for the NHL players, right? We've seen so many games, during the regular season at least, where everyone's looking for the perfect shot, perfect pass, perfect top left corner, perfect top right corner. No, what works in the playoffs is people crashing the fucking net. That's how the Stanley Cup champions become the Stanley Cup champions, because all that pretty shit doesn't work. It's a gritty game. And sometimes if you want to make the playoffs and you want to make a difference, you need to play a dirtier game. Crash the fucking net. Cause some chaos out there.
Per Steve Dangle, who it's been his vocal stim since last year. Go to the net! That's what he yells every LFR.
I love Dangle, dude. He goes nuclear.
But it's so
every year.
You should have did. You saw his LFR. He was crazy. He did a one taker and he ripped them to shreds, as he should. I mean, listen, Toronto, they're lacking lacking some stuff too. But that's for other topics and stuff. But go to the freaking net, dude. I mean, you see what happens when you do, and per Steve's point, how teams get better in the playoffs for it.
The power play just needs to get the defense moving. It's too stagnant. You're not generating enough shots. You're not generating enough chaos. Like Steve said,
throw shit on net and just see what happens. And then as well, again, it's not a bad idea to have a big guy like Zadorov in front. It could help.
Because if the goalie can't see it, it's going to be difficult for them to make a save. I agree. And Steve says, you're looking for that perfect top corner. I'm looking for a shot off a rebound that's going to land right on my fucking stick, and the net's going to be wide open. That probably Tanner Jeannot.
I'm looking for a goal on the scoreboard. I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
And we were looking for that tonight against Utah, against all the games this week, but especially Utah. It was just and again, going back to that last power play they had. Yeah, it's so frustrating.
Jack even simplified it even further. He's just I don't even care if it's he goes, I don't care if it bounces off the top glass, hits the crowbar hits the crossbar, or hits off the goalie's backside of the mask. I don't fucking care how it goes in. He's just I don't care if someone rips a hole in the back of the net and just slips it in that way. Jack just wants a fucking power play goal.
And I'm right
now.
there.
Now you're onto something, Cam. Now I might, maybe this week.
Yeah, now we're just gonna cheat.
I'm gonna sneak in some scissors. I'm just gonna go snip, snip, snip.
But he's absolutely right, though. He's absolutely right. I don't care how it gets done. It just
get it done. Get it
Exactly.
done. I think that's something especially to take from this week as well. We'll go on with everything. You need just grittiness. You need more, and
Exactly.
All right, hold on. Last question on the topic. Give me your guys' power play one. Who is your power play one unit? If you had the healthy Bruins team, let's assume Hampus Lindholm's healthy. If you could pick, you could even include the players from Providence if you really wanted to. If you were Marco Sturm and Don Sweeney, and you had to generate a power play unit one, who would you put on there? Start with for the defense. I could tell you now. I'm putting Hampus and I'm putting
let's go with you, Cam, first. What is your ideal? Let's start with that.
Yeah, let's go. With
shoot first mentality with a defensive upside, right? So putting a guy like Mason Lohrei and Hampus Lindholm together, they're both left shot defensemen, but that's fine. Because Lohrei also has the shooting capabilities. Hampus also has the shooting capabilities, but I would also trust Hampus Lindholm to make the smarter defensive IQ play if he needed to. You're not going to take Pastrnak off a power play one. You definitely can't do that. I'm actually keeping Elias Lindholm on there because if the puck gets shot wide, I think he has a good two-way capability where he is physical enough to warrant going after the puck and actually retrieving it well, similar to how Brad Marchand did.
And
now,
he wins that.
Huh?
Face-offs.
And he wins face-offs. He's 60. I think he's just over 60% this year, which is, again, that's elite numbers. That is elite numbers.
And if you keep that up, that's really going to help long term this season. That's really going to go a long way.
Yep.
So
continue.
And I would probably put Zacha just for him to move bodies.
Big guy. He's a big guy.
Yeah, because he's a power forward. He connects well with Pastrnak. But I guess the only changes I'm really making on that front would be on the defense, right? I would put Lowry out there. People would say, no, he's a turnover machine at the blue line, but then don't play him at the blue line. Put Elias Lindholm at the blue line if you really wanted to. So have Elias Lindholm play for up more, and you can have Lowry do things. There's multiple ways you could do it, but I think that would give you a better power play than just Charlie McAvoy playing pass with Pastrnak 4 or 5 times until they finally decide to take a shot on net with 5 seconds remaining in the power play.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Now is my rant. I'm sticking to it.
No, it's valid though. It's what happens. We've seen it happen all season. That's the reason why their shots on net aren't really there. Again, they're not generating shots. And if you're playing, pass, when you're passing it basically up and down, you're not creating any movement in front of the net. So it's easier to block shots, and it's easier for a goalie to stop it because he has a clear line of sight. He doesn't really need to move, right? Like if you're watching the screen, on the top of your screen, it's just Pasta to McAvoy back and forth with little movement. Yeah. That's just what it is.
Now, with that template in mind, what would you guys change, or what would you guys keep the same? Doesn't matter who goes first. You guys could even just talk over each other. Who gives a shit?
I'll let you go first, Steve. I'm still thinking.
All right, on the defense side, I'm going with Lowry and Pasta because at center I'm putting Lindholm, and assuming Lindholm can keep winning faceoffs the way it does, it'll pop back to either one of those guys who like to generate those shots, right? So we saw Pasta score right off the faceoff. With a face-off win from Lindholm, really close, and it was a really quick shot. It was a beautiful shot. We saw it this week, I believe, and that would help it out. And then obviously I said Lindholm at center, and I want I like Zacha out there because he also can generate some shots, and he's not going to be bullied around. He can go dig the puck out a little bit from behind the net. And I'm putting Zadorov at the wing, because I want his fat ass in front of the fucking net. And I don't want him to move too much because he can't move that fast. So put him at the wing, allow him to get into position for a screen, and that will help out David Pastrnak or Lowry to get a shot through. And then you have, Lindholm and Zacha to be able to crash the net on whatever side it pops out.
All right, so you have Zadorov. So the difference between you and I mean, where you're placing the guys outside of where you're placing them, like in terms of personnel, you're putting Zadorov over Hampus Lindholm.
Yes.
Okay. Jack, what do you got?
He's hurt, and I don't
for right now until he sucks.
Well, it's not until he sucks. I wouldn't say he sucks, but he's hurt, and they're on maintenance, and so I don't trust it.
Yep.
I just don't trust it. I want something who can go out there and generate what we need without having to worry about a guy getting hurt on a fucking power play. That's it.
That's fair.
That's smart. That's
Jack,
smart.
what do you got? What are you changing? Again, use mine as the template. Like, so Steve, like, just so that way, like, it's easier to compare. So Steve swapped out Zadorov for Hampus with me, but kept pretty much the personnel the same. You can choose the positioning too if you want, the way that Steve did it. I actually don't mind that.
Honestly, I'm the new guy here still, but I think I'd go pretty much with what Steve had, because really I like the idea of big booty Zadorov. That rolled off the tongue great. Big booty Zadorov in front of the net, creating traction and chaos in front of the net. I mean, it'll help lead to more chances, I think. But I want Elias Lindholm on it as well. I like that, two-way player. He's responsible. He can go in, retrieve, and help cycle it around. And obviously, you have Pasta on there as well, Pasta in his spot. So but I would have Hampus. Well, okay, that is 2 defensemen. Okay, I'm going to keep Zadorov in front, but I want Hampus quarterbacking it, because I've liked how he's done it before, and The stats showed that they were higher when it was, Hampus Lindholm instead of McAvoy. I just think he moves the puck better, trolls the blue line better, and it's just a little bit more smoother, I think. And then, yeah. So I'm pretty much with Steve as well, I think. Because, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
I like your point with the quarterbacking, though. And for disclosure, my quarterback would be Lohrei.
Yeah, I assume that. And I honestly, either one is good because I like the idea of Lindholm more just because of experience and his defensive responsibilities. So, if you get caught going back the other way, you've got Pasta, who's, his two-way game has emerged a lot, so you've got him and a Lindholm to help chase it going back the other way. Yeah, and then if Lohrei can keep continuing his play and develop and be a little more defensively responsible, then I would love to see him up on top of the power play because he's very elusive and smooth, and he's got really good hands, and I think he could create a lot of magic. But you need to have that defensive responsibility as well. So which he's working at too, and I think it's going to take him a little more time, but he's getting there. So when he's ready to step up into that role, I think he's going to do a great job at it. But for now, I'd have Lindholm, Zacha in his spot, Zadorov, I'm not going to call him by that name again, in front of the net, and everyone else fit in there too. It was like Zacha and Elias Lindholm too. I think that would be good to help just speed things up a little bit more, just get it more moving a little bit, not just the same back and forth. The Pasta and McAvoy, as we said, create more chances, create more havoc in front, let it go off Zadorov's big butt. There we go.
Down it. All right, no, good guys. All good points. Hard to refute it. Anything I think would help at this point. Let's do some quick prospect updates. We already went over Providence's 4-0-0, so we'll do the prospect updates. We'll do our big bad Bruin, and then we'll do our predictions for the week, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Sounds so begrudging, right? No, I actually enjoy talking to you guys.
Thanks, Cam.
These stats are per elite prospects, so they could be a smidge off, but they're typically pretty good. James Higgins in 4 games played has 2 goals, 3 assists.
I'm gonna pull up elite prospects right now as well, just to see if anything has changed. Continue.
Yeah, it shouldn't have, because I think I checked it yesterday after the game. But so far, James Higgins has 2 goals, 3 assists, 4 games played. Dean Leturno has actually awoken. He has 2 goals, 2 assists in 4 games. William Moore has one goal, 1 assist in 4 games. Gasso has 3 assists in 4 games, and Zellers has 1 goal, 2 assists in 4 games. So not bad. The big surprise for me is Dean. Happy that he's scoring, happy that he's getting points, and I'm hoping that he turns into the Tage Thompson comparison that he was initially drafted as. So hopefully that project works out for the Bruins, and it's not just some fake show.
Yeah, this was I forgot about this pick. Yeah, late round, first round pick in 24. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So hopefully that trend continues, and obviously Higgins, we hope, being the 7th overall, he was touted as the 1st overall, I believe, the year before.
Yeah, like going into it, like the next year's prediction for the draft. Yeah, he was set at number 1, and then he dropped a little bit because of other great, amazing players. But I mean, he could have.
Brady fucking Martin.
And he could have been a slower start to his BC year. He just had a low.
Well, he was a point per game player last year, so if he can just improve on that, or at least can keep consistent on that, because then I think if he's consistent on that, then the next stage of his development needs to come from the NHL level or from the AHL level. That's where I think it would need to occur.
Which I think out of all of them, I mean, we're going to touch on the rest of the prospects, but I think out of all of them, Higgins definitely, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, pretty obvious. He'll have a decent shot to play in the pros by the end of the year. But some other guys could be a surprise. I mean, again, if Laturo and other guys keep whacking at it, it's good for our development.
I have
Higgins is the only one.
Good.
Higgins is the only one that I think that could make the jump next season, possibly. I think
Yeah.
Letrano is still a couple years out. William Moore, a couple years out. Zellers, 1.5 maybe. Like, we'll see how he progresses in Goosey. I mean, he might be a bottom sixer, but like, something to keep your eye out for. Steve, you had a point you wanted to make.
Yeah, Zellers. I got both eyes on Zellers right now. I think I talked about this in the summer. I was super excited about this kid. Just watching some of his highlights and the way he moves the puck, I think we got something there, man. I think he's just out on a slow start right now, which, I mean, his slow start is, just below, a point per game right now. But I think he's just kind of getting adapted to, what's going on and kind of that level. But I think once he gets used to it, he's really gonna break out. And I'm actually really, really looking forward to this kid.
Just remember, guys, players like Artemi Panarin and Torrey Krug, they are leagues different from each other, but they were undrafted.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean?
God.
Like,
Panarin was undrafted? Oh, my God.
Say that again?
Panarin was undrafted.
Krug was undrafted and Panarin was undrafted.
I know. I remember Krug. I remember because I was in 5th grade watching the Bruins go back to the Stanley Cup, which they totally didn't choke with under 30 seconds left to go. Anyways, but watching Krug,
never happened.
Watching Krug tear it up, I was like, man, this is crazy. And it was all the broadcasts were talking about because it was this young, small kid out of Michigan who just jumped up and is now scoring these big playoff goals, and it was fun to see. But yeah, undrafted. It's crazy.
All right. Guys, all right, let's get into the Big Bad Bruin real quick. This is the Big Bad Bruin of the week. The player who we thought needed, or not needed to step up, but the person who actually we believe stepped up. Again, it's easy to kind of give you the scapegoats of Pastrnak. Kind of wanted we try to keep it a little bit different, but obviously if Pastrnak is the clear guy, he'll win it. So if anyone's wondering oh, why didn't you pick Pastrnak? I don't give a shit.
He's there every week. He's there every week. He's gonna have bad games and maybe even bad weeks. But yeah, he's pretty much your go-to. I mean, yeah, they're still counting on him to help save the season. I mean, hopefully that's not the narrative moving forward. But yeah,
I'll start. This week's unsung hero for me is going to be Mark Kastelic. I think he was electric in the VGK game. I thought he was a consistent piece on the fourth line. He was just a noticeable guy, I think, all week. I think you heard his name a lot. He was hitting. He was fighting. No, I actually believe his first fight was tonight against Utah.
Which was crazy as well. I heard the broadcast mention that. I was like, I thought he had fought already, but he hasn't.
So didn't I. Maybe it was AC Mon or Curls. But I'm not positive. But either way, it was nice to hear his name, see his name. He had an amazing snipe in VGK. Really, I mean, he just deserves some credit because he was someone that, when we got back in the Corpus Hollow trade, that people were like, who the hell is this guy? Like, great, another fourth line bum, but I think he just fits into the Boston mold very well. So honestly, to me, it's Kastelic.
I will chime in real quick because Steve has kind of a hybrid pick. We'll see how he goes for that. But I also had Kastelic, and to kind of a star with it as well. Bottom 6, for the week. They really helped keep us in it. We got def contributions this week again to help us keep in it. They were moving, they were playing with high energy, helping to generate chances. And when the top 6 wasn't up to par, bottom 6 was right there to take the load. So I just think the bottom 6 this week was great, especially though for a player. Kastelic chipped in on a lot of the offense. He's gotten goals this week. He can just help keep the bottom 6 going. So I think, another guy who's really merged into himself as well. And I'm glad to see he's doing well. And definitely a good energy guy moving forward. And he was very noticeable. Yeah, I agree with Cam on that. You just saw him out and about, and his goal against Vegas was great. So good old Kastelic, keeping the engine running.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, give us your graduation speech.
Nobody deserves it this week.
Nobody.
Okay? And I know that sounds brutal. You both make very great points. I noticed him out there, and again, your points are all valid, but to me, nobody stood out. I do have one person that needs to step the fuck up, and his name is Charlie McAvoy.
The Stallion. Oh,
he needs to step up. The game against Tampa was atrocious. His play was atrocious. Okay. The game against VGK, he was atrocious. So many defensive zone breakdowns from your assistant captain, who's supposed to be the core of your defense, just not doing what his job is. And again, we talked about the power play. He's not doing his job on the power play either. It's so bad.
There.
And that's it. And that's it. Nobody gets it.
Ricketts in the crowd. Wow.
I know.
I was like, because I was like, why is Steve asking that? But it adds up.
It's the truth. And you know what? I don't care what other people think. The fact of the matter is, go watch those games again, and you're gonna notice exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like little again sparks and people who stood out a little bit. And again, our odes to Kesslick, I think, are valid, but also I think Steve is valid too, in that it's not a lot great standing out.
Yep.
It's so difficult because you see what he did in Four Nations, and you're just like, could we just get that? We get that in spurts, but if we could just get that, like in 80% of the games, I think you're good. Like, look, Charlie McAvoy is still arguably a top 10 defenseman in the league, but
when he's on,
I'm sorry, when he's on, yes. But it's when he's off or when something doesn't look right, it's not the same. So no, I agree. He does need to step up. I think he also needs to be a big leader in that locker room. And I think also maybe teammates need to lift him up around him, or maybe the coaching system just isn't working for him. But it doesn't make sense. Like I want to see more consistently what we saw in Four Nations out of him with his production. That might be harder in this Bruins team, but I think if you want to be the leader and if you're wearing that A on your chest, I want to see you fucking killing people every night. I want to see you hammering shots home. I want to see you smart hockey. So.
And to your point about that, it's like, I'm not asking for a lot. I just want more sound defensive play and not let breakaways happen where you have to dive to disrupt the puck and go right into your goalie. That if you're wearing an A on this Boston Bruins team,
you got to earn it.
What?
You got to earn it.
You got to earn it. Well, and at the end of the day, it's you got to lead by example. If you're the guy on the defense and you're giving up bad turnovers to the point where you have to dive to disrupt the puck and barely get a stick on his stick, that doesn't set a good precedence for the rest.
They call that docking, I believe, Steve.
Oh yeah, you know all about docking, buddy.
Oh God, grow up.
But no,
kids listen to this, man.
I want smart plays, smooth transitions and sound defensive play. That's it. That's really it.
Steve, I don't ask for much. I just want 30 goals out of him.
Listen, Mac, the day that McAvoy scores 30 goals will be
maybe if he didn't fumble the transition game and actually generated shots on net, maybe he can get to 30 goals. But he's doing neither.
No, Steve, you fumble in football, not hockey.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Critic.
Welcome to the dad jokes galore. Listen, it is what it is. No, I agree with you, Steve. It's good. All right, let's get into the quick predictions next week. We got 3 games, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Florida comes to town. They're all home. Florida comes to town on Tuesday. That's the return of Brad Marchand, where he actually will be playing.
No, yeah, we didn't get a touch on that too much, or his antics this past week. But yeah, it's gonna be.
He got fined. Awesome. He got fined $5,000 for aggravated assault on Rasmus Dahlin's helmet.
And if you haven't seen the video yet, check it out because
it's incredible. I just saw it today. I saw it today during the Utah game when I had a sec. I just checked my phone and went on the crazy space of X and saw it. It was amazing.
Oh.
It was like a little kid. It was like a little kid when he gets sent to timeout and he has, I don't know, and he just like starts breaking shit, or he like, trashes his room or whatever. Funny. He's like, I'm gonna take it out on you.
Oh, geez. It was just so funny.
I'm here for it. I want Brad Marchand antics back. And you know what other place?
He's gonna
Florida. It's a perfect place for him though, because Florida plays like that. They play like that hot-headed, like tantrum game. Like they're all rats, and that's what it is. So it fits in perfectly to the narrative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we got Anaheim on Thursday and Colorado Saturday. I'm going win Florida, loss Anaheim, win Colorado. Florida's banged up, guys. Like they're hurting. They've lost 4 straight, I believe. And the Barkov loss is hurting. I think they lost Kulikov, and I think they lost another guy too to injury. So they're hurting. So they're vulnerable. Anaheim, I think they're getting better. And I think they're a little bit more structured than you are right now. I think their veteran presence is going to help carry them. And Colorado, I think it's just going to be a revenge game. I think they're going to take that loss on Saturday. Personally, come back with a win. Those are my delusional picks of the week.
Well, I just changed one of my picks last second because one of them just doesn't seem right. But I'll stick with them what they have now. I can't go 2 against what I picked, but I just changed one of them. So
it's fine. Steve, what do you got? And Steve, what do you got? And then we'll get Jack.
I have a loss against Florida because as of late, they've owned us. And I hate it. And it's going to be a game that, Brad Marchand comes back and does what Brad Marchand does. And he knows the Bruins ice. He knows the boards. He knows where to be. Again, you don't become the Brad Marchand that we know and love without, all of his experience in Boston. I think he's going to ball out and he's going to have a great game. And I think it's just going to lose. And I think Bob is going to play crazy, especially with our non-existent offense. So, I mean, that's the real game changer there is Bob. It's pretty obvious. For Anaheim, I have that as a win because I watched them play tonight, and I was not impressed. At all. I mean, they play tough. They play, very structured hockey, but when they get into penalty trouble, they get into penalty trouble. And I think that's going to play, a huge role in that game. And then I have a win against Colorado because what better way to, work off your frustrations off of a kind of a bullshit loss that, you should have, hung in there a little bit more than to take them back at home. And again, we get the last change and, we were exposed to them this past week. And it's going to matter because at the end of the day, we were exposed to them and we kind of know what they're kind of playing with. And they're not going to change much of what they're doing, and we know how. And I think we can adapt a little bit, especially with that last change. We can kind of we're not going to blow them out of the water, but if we take it to overtime and win, that wouldn't surprise me.
Guys, this could change the prediction tracker quite a bit. We don't have really many identical things, so if things don't swing that way right now, Steve and I are tied at 57.1%. Jack, you're at 50%, but I mean, this could shift. It's like this could be a huge swing week.
We're all butting really close together, but something could shift and it'll get blown out of the water. But
yeah, it's who knows? We still have yet to determine the gentle punishment at the end of the year that someone's going to have to unfortunately partake in, but we'll get there. But guys, good picks.
I'm
good
just
even
at this. I didn't get my pick in. What's this about?
What do you mean? Didn't. Oh shit! You're the new totally guy. Good. I'm sorry. I have to bully you every once in a while.
I know. Listen, you getting your licks in. I'll be really quick. Florida win. I think it's going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose again. Steve made great points. Marchand homecoming. He knows the ice and that arena better than probably some of the Bruins on our roster do. So I think it's going to be close. But I know that Florida again is hurting. Well, voice crack. They're hurting, and looks like they just hit a wall a little bit, and they're really struggling without their 2 top guys who are out for probably one of them is out for probably the entire year, even including playoffs if they make it, and then Yeah, Barkov.
All right.
But Barkov's he's
Barkov
done.
and Tkachuk, I forgot. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, and then Tkachuk's gone probably till January, February, and then you got to come back. I don't think he's going to be 100%. So I think it's going to be a close one. Marchand wouldn't be surprised to get to Hattie, but I think we're still gonna. It might be a high score.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I think we're gonna get the dub though. Anaheim. I don't know why I had this before as a loss. I just looked at it again as we got to predictions. I was like, I'm gonna change that. Because as of late, Anaheim has just been lackluster a little bit. Better than they have been before. They were kind of miserable for a few years, but they're actually starting to turn the tide. But I think that's a game that we come together a little bit more, and hopefully it's like the Utah game, but better. It might be a little bit even, but I think we'll get the best of them and take advantage of a kind of a new budding team. Not that Anaheim's new, but budding towards getting better expectations. But I think it's just going to be a good game, and we'll take that. But against Colorado, I do have an L. Listen, I just think. Hey, listen, I just think they're emerging as one of the top teams in the league, and could be a revenge style game for us. I hope that they come into that game with a lot of fire. I think it'll be close, but they might edge us out in overtime. I think out of all these games, Colorado is a likely one to go to extra time because it's going to be a very tightly contested game, but they might just squeak it out against us. But again, wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong. So win-win loss for the new guy.
Good points, Jack. All right. That was actually pretty solid. Very good synopsis. Very good. Good call, Stripes. Good call.
Thanks, man. By episode 10, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Dude, you're doing great. You don't need to worry about it. We're all having fun. Just a couple of guys talking hockey. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for episode 49. Next week is the big 5-0. We have yet to determine whether or not we're going to do a live for that, or we're just going to do a recorded version of it. But if we do a live, please join us for that on maybe even instead of a Sunday, we might do a Monday because we all know everyone loves football. We don't want to interrupt your viewing experience. And if we do live, there will be prizes to be had. So please make sure that you keep an eye out for that on us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on your thoughts of any of the topics that we had tonight. Don't forget to check out don'tpuckwithmedia.com for all of our blogs. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and pretty much every piece of social media. And that's pretty much it. And until next time, guys, go Bruins.
Go Bruins.